Let me introduce you to Julian, a dedicated employee and son-in-law, who spent years building a company for a man who refused to see his worth. This is the story of how a single act of betrayal led him to build his own empire. He laughed when he saw my resignation letter. A real, deep belly laugh. His face turned red, and he slapped his desk like he'd heard the best joke of the year. I stood there, hands in my pockets, still. I let him enjoy it. That was the last laugh he'd have in a long time. Then he flipped to the last page. His face, God, his face, shifted like someone pulled the floor out from under him. Is this a joke? He asked, his voice shaking. I just nodded once. Then I walked out. He made his choice. For 5 years. I worked for him, Harold Bennett, the CEO of the company and my wife's father. To his face, I called him Sir. Behind his back, I called him what he was, a snake in a tailored suit. But I didn't always see him that way. For a while, I tried to earn his respect, both as his employee and as his son-in-law. I was the first to arrive and the last to leave. I saved contracts, landed clients no one else could, and took calls on holidays, missing anniversaries. I thought I was building something, a future. It turns out I was just patching holes in his sinking ship while he played favorites. The promotion went to Brian. Brian, my coworker, who came in late, left early, and spent most of his time on his phone playing fantasy football. Harold called him a young innovator and said he had fresh eyes. The man couldn't even spell Excel. He was 32 and still called his mother to ask how to boil eggs. But he was Harold's golf buddy, and he told Harold what Harold liked to hear. I found out the same day the announcement hit the office email. Brian Carter promoted to VP of Strategy. I read the email 3 times before I understood it. My name wasn't in the sentence, not even in the CC. I walked into Harold's office and asked him why. He smiled. You're good, son, he said, but Brian's got vision. And besides, we don't want to raise eyebrows of favoritism, do we? Favoritism? That line stung like acid. So promoting Brian, who has dinner at your house every Saturday, isn't favoritism, I thought. But promoting me, your own blood by marriage, is? Got it. That night, I didn't speak to my wife. I didn't eat. I just sat in the dark, staring at the walls of the apartment I paid for, furnished and maintained, realizing it was all built on an illusion. The shift wasn't loud. It was quiet, controlled. I stopped giving, not out of spite, but because I started planning. First, I spent my nights downloading copies of every strategy document I ever built, every campaign, projection, and client deck. You see, the department success, the company's rebound after Q2, wasn't Brian's work. It was mine. I had the proof, literally. Second, I contacted my old business school professor, who now runs a small investment room. We had coffee. I showed him the numbers, and he liked them. He offered to back a new company with me as the leader. Third, I reached out to a few clients I trusted, not the big names. They're too tangled in bureaucracy. I went for the smaller, more flexible ones. The ones who cared about good service more than branding. Quietly, I asked, if I moved, would you follow? The answers came quicker than I expected. Absolutely. Wherever you go, you're the only reason we stayed with Bennett and Company. Just like that, Harold's castle started cracking beneath him. I waited 3 weeks. 3 weeks of smiling, nodding, and pretending. I even congratulated Brian at the office party, handing him a drink. He said, with a grin, tough break, man. That night, I emailed his assistant the wrong version of a client pitch deck, just enough to make Brian look sloppy. It worked. The aftermath. 3 weeks later, I printed my resignation letter. It was 3 pages long. Page 1 had a professional tone, gratitude, and so on. Page 2 listed my clients, all with signed agreements to move with me. Page 3 had the final line. P.S. You didn't want to promote me because it would look like nepotism. I agree. So, I'm taking the talent, the clients, and the revenue I built without your name attached to start something of my own. When he reached that line, I saw it. The laugh died in his throat. The smugness was gone. He looked up, mouth half open, eyes wide, and whispered, "Is this a joke?" I nodded. Not because it was a joke, but because he was. The fallout came fast. In the days that followed, 4 of his top clients left. Half of them joined me, and the other half simply left the company. Brian panicked, messed up the public relations, and sent emails he shouldn't have. I heard one client printed his out and framed it. He had misspelled their company name twice. My wife asked why I resigned so suddenly. I didn't tell her at first. I just said, "Your father made a decision." So did I. But when the news broke about the new firm I launched and who was backing it, she connected the dots. She hasn't called him since. As for Brian, the last I heard, he was on leave for burnout. Harold tried to fix the damage. He called me once, just once, and left a voicemail. "Son, let's be rational. You're burning bridges." No, I wasn't burning them. I was reclaiming them. Now I walk into my office. My office, with no one above me. Just clear windows, a clean desk, and a future I built with the same hands that once built his. Harold still runs Bennett and Company, but it's not booming anymore. It's surviving, limping, slowly bleeding out from the hole I left behind. He made his choice. He backed the wrong man and underestimated the quiet one, the loyal one. Now he watches my name climb. He watches his clients sign with me. He watches his daughter toast champagne at our launch party. Smiling, not for him, but for me. It's not revenge. It's clarity, and it tastes better than any promotion he could have handed me.